I was trying to figure out what to do. I have a lot of thoughts in my head, and good ones, and I picked up my journal, and then I picked up my planner, and then I picked up my motivation manifesto book, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I was just like, Vicki, why don't you just pick up your phone and talk and record yourself rather than writing, and just so. And I'm having a nice herbal tea, cinnamon, and it smells really nice. And I'm liking that I'm getting back into herbal tea, and I haven't been in herbal teas really, but since I've been off coffee since like November, I really like them, and there's so many different flavors, so many different realms. So it's really good. Anyway, sorry. Side note. What a wonderful day it was today. It was such a wonderful day. I feel like I've got everything under control. I feel like I've got everything under control. It's really good. This whole parenting thing, this whole thing has just, I see it. Like, God love Charlie. God love everything. God love Brendan and, Barry and Ronalda and Cindy and Judy and Evelyn and Dawn and Crystal and the list. Like, I'm forgetting people I know. Like, I'm just, Lori and Krista and Andrea and all these people that have come into my life different times, come and gone and back and forth, but still I feel them. And it's amazing. And then when you talk to them and you go up a little bit and you're excited, and then, good stuff happens. It always happens. So it's just when you can raise that energy level, it's amazing. I love it. I just love it. So I'm raising my energy, so more good stuff's going to happen. I just am loving the thoughts around this parenting, bridging the gap, bridging the divide, healing, embracing, healing those deep parent wounds, and just seeing them from a different perspective, right? And releasing it and just saying it happened, and we know what we know, and we do the best that we can at that time with the information we have. And life is hard and stuff happens, and we've all been exposed to different things, and we didn't have the right tools, right? We only have what we have, and we only know what we know. And if you can just say that everybody truly, honestly comes from a place of goodness, and something traumatic has happened to them, something has been ingrained in them that doesn't belong there, and they haven't been able to let it go yet. And to be able to let that go and just feel the goodness from the experience, or the lesson from the experience, if, just to say, it was a different time. People didn't talk. People didn't have access to different ways of thinking. And, if they were in a negative environment and that's all they knew repetitively for years of their life, back in our time growing up, like, you had the radio and you had the 6 o'clock news and you had the local newspaper and you had your set of encyclopedias. And that was it. Gratefully, we grew up with music. So songs told stories and lessons. Thank goodness. And Mom loved to read, right? She loved to read. And so her vocabulary was expansive and her imagination was expansive. That was awesome, right? And she was creative. And Dad, he wasn't as creative. I didn't see that side of him. He was very analytical. He was so analytical. He planned everything out. He had to have his jobs all figured out the night before if he was calculating how much paint and how big of the room and doing quotes. And so he was meticulous that way into the numbers. So I get it, honestly. And, but I think he stayed up here too much, right? He didn't get out of his head enough. And so, you have to have that piece of wonderment and expansion and faith in the unknown or faith in what could be. And that comes from conversation and different perspectives, really different perspectives, right? And so it's different for everyone. Dad was an only child. And so how much different perspective did he get? If you don't have to learn certain things that you would have to learn if you're in a family of 6 or 10 or 12, right? So you grow up different, right? And parents grow and change as they have more children as well. So that's interesting because it's hard raising kids. And so the first one, you try and be absolutely perfect. And then the next one, you realize, I made that through and I didn't have to do half the stuff I did. So, you're a little more stress-free and you just don't have time to worry about half the stuff you worried about the first time around. So it's with each lesson and you realize I'm through it. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I got this, right? Imagine how a parent feels after they had 12 kids. They're like, do they even know the name of the first one? It's not important when you're managing that much stuff. So you get really good at routine and ritual and figuring stuff out on the fly because you never know what's going to happen and you just deal, right? And it's funny when you think about the contrast of what it must have been like to have one child versus 12, or grow up with no siblings or 11 siblings, and the age differences and the different lessons and the different friends and scenarios and exposures you would have in life. Completely different life, right? And it's not until you allow people into your space, into your home, that they get to experience something different than what they're used to, right? And so that goes to the piece on having a welcoming and open home for your children and your children's friends. Because if they can come into a home and experience something different and experience something maybe brighter or lighter or calmer or more fun and laughter and just a higher energy vibration that they're not used to, that's going to lift them up, right? And you never know when somebody needs to be lifted up. You never know what's going on with them, what just happened to them, what emotion they just been hit with. And, you know, we all know how it feels if we can be raised up, if we can feel love and feel connected to someone, and just whether it's dancing or whether it's a long hug where you just don't let go because you love that person so much and you feel them so much, and words aren't enough, and you just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and when you think you're done, you squeeze a little more and you wrap your arms around them as tight as you can because you just want them to feel your love. Those hugs, those are amazing hugs. They're amazing hugs. And I am so happy that I have so many friends that I can give those hugs to. Man, am I lucky. And just to be able to wrap your arms right around someone, and, you know, sometimes they're shaking because they're not used to that. They're not used to that level of closeness. They haven't had it. They're like, I can't handle this. This is too much of a differential from where I'm used to where you're at. And so sometimes you got to tone yourself down. I know I get really excited sometimes, and everybody's just like, whoa, like, you got too much energy. Sarah says that to me all the time when I've been up for a couple hours and I've filled my own bucket. I've done my stretches and my meditations and my journaling, and I'm full, right? And she's just getting out of bed and coming upstairs to go to school, and I'm like, good morning, how are you? And she's like, whoa, that's a lot of energy, Mom. So, you know, sometimes you got to read the room. Sometimes you got to come down a little bit so that you're not like in somebody's face. And sometimes that's a problem for me. I'm gauging that, but still, it's funny. Like, everybody says, like, you have so much energy, and it's true. I've never had this much energy in my life, and it's awesome. Like, it's so good. And there's so many facets to energy, but it's just a place that if you can focus on taking that energy that you generate and putting it into the things that you love to do and the things that matter. So like when it's the things you love to do, well, man, you're having fun, you're laughing, you're carrying on. And when it's the things that matter, sometimes it's not fun, but you can summon it because it matters, right? And it's just having the ability to summon it, to find it from within, like to have the tools to do it. And the more consistent that you can do those things and find those ways to raise your energy, the better you can be as a person, and you can meet people where they're at. Like, imagine if I'm in a room and I'm like this, and I meet somebody that's higher than me, and they can take you up a notch and make you feel even better, and you can stay there. Wow, like, that's what ultra's like. That's what Brendan's ultra events are like. And you get days of that. Like, Austin was 4 days of that. It was amazing. And you wonder why you're so pumped when you come home. Like, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot because your body's not used to that high level of energy for so long. But, you know, when you meet people and you get around them more consistently, like 4 times a year, right? It brings you back. You get excited. It's something to look forward to. And you want to get there because you want to feel it again. Like, it's almost like an addiction, right? It's a good vibe. And you can do it naturally and create it yourself. So what's better than that, right? So anyway, it's in the consistent things that you do in your day. It's the rituals that you can build that you love to do, and do them in a way that you know are going to make you feel better and give you that energy to give you what you need to do what you need to do, and having fun while you're doing it, right? Again, back to the dancing or leaning into those things that whatever it is for you, like it's different. Like Sarah and her friend, they love to color, right? They love coloring. It's fun, right? And I still color with them. My mom used to color, and she would always sit and color. She would always sit and play games. It was the interaction. She had so much patience. I just couldn't get over it. She'd have the patience to sit with anybody and teach them any game. And, there'd be times she'd be falling asleep. She was not well physically at all. And she had very low energy. And we'd be playing a game and she'd be falling asleep. But man, oh man, she'd be like, no, I'm awake, I'm ready. And because she wanted to be there and do it. So, and I'm laughing, it was sad and it was worrisome because she couldn't stay awake, right? That was hard to see. But man, she didn't give up. She didn't give up. I'm telling you, if she wanted fun, she wanted a connection with people. This was a woman who was on her deathbed in the ICU, and her company, her visitors, when you were only allowed in there at certain times, we were playing games and laughing. We were playing cards or playing something, anything. And she loved it right to the end. So there's somebody who, no matter how bad she felt, no matter physically how her body just was done, she didn't stop connecting. She didn't stop leaning into something that she enjoyed. And yeah. So she taught that right to the end. But she died early. She died at 63. So, and when you see yourself and your body in that image, and you feel the same pain that your mother felt, and you can see it coming, you have to choose to stop it. You have to choose to change it, because you can. You can. Every day is a new day and a new opportunity to make a choice to do better, to lean into what's important. And what is that for you? What is that for you? Right? I didn't learn how to do that. Nobody taught me how to heal my body, how to love my body, how to be in my body, how to be connected to myself. I didn't know. I had to learn. I just started because I didn't like the feeling I had. And I felt that way for too long. And because I felt that way, I was so low. My energy was so low. I couldn't make good choices. I I couldn't get out of my head. Everything was so difficult. Everything was so difficult. Our body generates energy for us. We just need to feed it. And when we feed it, it gives us what we need. And so we just have to focus on feeding it the right things, right? And that's living high performance. That's covering your bases, the basic things, right? Our energy and focusing on what matters and being good role models to our kids and, living with purpose and leaning into like what feeds your soul. What is the one thing that you want your kids to know that matters to you? Like what is the lesson that you want to instill in them because you believe it. You believe it wholeheartedly. And whatever that is for you, you better make sure you're singing that from the rooftops. Because if you feel it, then you should pass it on. Goodness, faith, possibility, opportunity, growth, expansion, love, kindness, consideration, trust, truth. Pick your words, but pick good ones, right? Where do you want to focus? What do you want to teach to your kids? What kind of language do you want them to hear? What kind of energy do you want them to feel? Like it's time to show up. It's time to show up and be better and know that we can be better. Just know that somebody else has gone through what you've gone through. There's like 8 billion people in the world. Brendan says it all the time. Like there's 8 billion people, right? And we might feel like we're alone and we might not know what the heck to do, but somebody else has done it. Somebody else has solved it. You think about the worst things you've gone through in your life, the absolute worst things you've gone through, and you're still here and you learned something, right? And you've moved on. It happened and you're still here. So where can you go from here? And what did you learn from that? And how can you help somebody get through what you went through quicker? How can you share your story in a way that will say, it's okay, one step at a time. I know it seems overwhelming right now, but trust me, I was there. And this is what I did. And this is how I got through it. And this is what I wish I had have known that would have got me there a little bit sooner. I wish I had asked for help. I wish I had told my kids what I really felt. I wish I had hugged them when they went out the door. I wish I had told them I loved them. Wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing. Well, if I'm saying it to you on a camera, I can say it to my kids when they walk in the door. Right? I'm taking time to record a video because I'm trying to get my thoughts out of my head, right? But the minute my child walks in the door, this goes off and I take a breath and I'm like, I am greeting them with presence and love and excitement because I want them to feel that. Right? I want them to feel that. And I know scientifically that when you are around somebody that has a higher positive vibration, it helps you. It's energy. Right? And so if I can do that and I know it and I have the opportunity and I don't take it, that's a sunk Gosh, that's a lost opportunity. Why would I ever give up that chance if I know that within 2 seconds I can take a breath, right? Just take a breath and engage with what's in front of you. What are you going to face when you walk through the door, right? Another human being that matters to you, that you love, that you want to give your all to? Well, then put down the phone, take a breath, and greet them wholeheartedly with excitement and love and joy and compassion, and look in their eyes and see what's going on. And you'll know, like, if they're sad, you're going to see it. And then take a beat, right? What's up? What's going on? Oh, nothing. Oh, well, it's not nothing, honey. I see it's not nothing, but that's okay, right? I see you. I'm here for you, right? When you look in somebody's eyes, you can gauge where they're at. How often do you actually look in someone's eyes? Do you look in your kids' eyes? You know, or do you shut them because you don't want them to see what's in your eyes? Right? Because you know that your kids know you so well. And if they look in your eyes, they're going to see your pain. And you don't want them to, so you go run and hide. Right? Because nobody wants to show their pain to their kids. Well, it's okay to show your emotion in the moment. And it's okay to show them that feel your feels and I'm here for you, and get it out. But you got to get it out, right? And what are the ways to get it out? Talk it out in a safe space. Be with somebody who loves you no matter what's going on, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're dealing with, right? And just let them be. Let them hug, let them shake, let them cry, let them scream, right? If it's from a place where they have to release, but release it wholeheartedly, calmingly, kindly. If their energy is in a bad space, you don't want to meet them there. You want to bring them to your side. You don't want to go down that dark path. No way, no how, no. You're the parent. You're the person that knows better, right? We know better. So take a breath. Engage with them, right? Try. And if you don't have enough tools and you're like, geez, I feel myself getting out of control. I feel I'm starting to match their negative energy. I feel it. I don't like it. Stop. Take a breath. Just say, I'm sorry. I just need a minute. I need a breath, right? I need a breath. That's okay. It's okay to take a pause. That brings you back into yourself. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, wow, I'm not liking how I'm feeling in this moment, and I just need a minute. Can we just have a minute? I love you, but can we just have a minute? Instead of escalating, your voice raises, their voice raises. You get huffy, they get huffy. Doors slam, like screaming, yelling, I don't know, whatever it is, right? If you don't have the ability to regulate those emotions and those feelings, you're reacting. And you don't want to be reacting. You want to be calm. You want to be present. You want to push through it. You want to help them get to the other side of that, right? So you got to show them the way. You got to show up. You got to shine a little brighter, right? You got to help them grow through that. Teach them the tools to move through the emotion, whether it's just sitting with them, hugging them, let them shake, let them cry, let them breathe, let them sob, right? and laugh at it with them. Laughter, I mean, man, because if somebody starts crying, I'm going to start crying. And then, like, I can't help it. Like, stranger or not, if I feel you, I feel you. And that's the way it is, right? So we're human. We have emotions. We all have emotions. That's life. That's what makes life worth living, right? That's what we have to feel. It's one way, right? I had tears of joy, right? Tears of sorrow. Tears are a mechanism to feel your feels. Just recognize it for what it is and say, okay, I need a minute, right? And it's okay. So I am just so happy. I'm so happy that I am able to see these things and catch these things and work in a way with my children that I can have a conversation and explain where I'm at, and they get it, and it feels good. And having heart-to-hearts, telling them stuff I did wrong when age appropriately. But if your kid's 17 or 19 or 21 and you think about what you were going through at that age, right? And you're around their friends and they're talking to you and you're open with you, I am sure that you have lessons that you could share that could help them in their struggle or help their friends in their struggle. Are you brave enough to tell the story and the lesson, even though you're ashamed of what happened at the time and you kept it a secret? You know, are you willing to let go of that because it happened 20, 30, 40 years ago and say, you know what? We all do stupid stuff sometimes. So just roll with it, right? So it's about taking a breath, taking a beat, and just being there for your children the best that you can. The best that you can in the moment. But when the moment shows up, you show up. You show up for them, right? And just see what happens. See what happens. Their eyes are going to light up. You're going to get them engaged. Like, it's about teaching them, right? Not solving all their problems. I was a phenomenal person at solving problems, right? It made me feel good. I'm like, I can help, right? But if you don't teach somebody to help themselves, you're in a cycle, right? You're consuming. And how are you filling up? Where are you getting your fuel, right? That's where it has to come back to here. You have to come back to yourself and start here. And when you start here and fill your tank, you can give it. And when you feel yourself getting a little low, fill your tank and then you can give it. And then you're not giving from a place of depletion. You're not giving from an empty bucket or like you're so drained. Like I had somebody describe to me the other day, they felt like their bucket had an auger in the bottom of it and it was just going. And I mean, we've all felt that way and we don't want to feel that way. And if you're feeling that way, then you need to find a way to generate that energy within yourself. Because if other people are making you feel that way, you need to say, okay, I need to change something up here. I don't want to feel that way. And there are ways that I can generate energy myself. Breathing, meditating, journaling, dancing, smiling, hugging somebody that you love, calling a friend. Because chances are, for all you parents out there, somebody else with kids has gone through what you're going through. Really and truly. And it's just that we don't talk about the bad stuff. And when what we fear is bad stuff. And it's not bad. It's just something that you maybe haven't gone through before and you don't know how to deal with it. And you're like, man, this is too much. And everybody else has got their together and I don't, because I don't know how to deal with it, right? Chances are somebody in your circle has already dealt with it if you're brave enough to talk about it and ask for help, right? And if your circle, if you can't tell your trusted few somebody, then go online, find a resource, ask ChatGPT, what's a great book? What's a great podcast? What's something that can help me with this thing I'm struggling with, right? And that's one way. Self-learning, everybody has their own comfort level with what they're willing to talk about. I get that, right? It's hard to talk about yourself when you never do, right? Right? When you haven't voiced what's been up there for a long time. And if you're not used to using your voice, then use your journal, right? It's just finding a way to release those things and get it out of here. And then you can look at it and say, is that really true? Like when you read it, is that really true? Or is that some silly thing I'm just spinning up there? Show it. I wrote this thing. I'm thinking this thing. Is it true? And they can say, no, it's not. And so maybe you spent 5 hours thinking something was true. That's not true. And you need the real people that are going to say, that is not you. That is not who you are. I know you better than you know yourself. And that is not who you are. And don't let anybody try and tell you that you're that person. I know you and you're not that person. So don't believe what people say about you if they don't know you. Who cares? Who cares what people say about you if they don't know who you are, if they don't know what you've been through, if they don't know what shaped you, if they don't know who you love and how you give and how you show up. Who cares, right? They can sit at the sidelines and swipe their phones all day long and judge and say, well, they've wasted 5 hours of their life that day, right? No. Put down the phone and talk to the people that matter. Show up for the people that matter. Your children, your best friends, your family, your coworkers, your nieces, your nephews, your team, whoever that is for you, whoever you want to show up for, there's tools to make you show up better, right? And it's trying one thing, trying. Take a breath, engage, and try. Bet on yourself. Bet on your kids. Bet on a better life. Have a wonderful day. And if this resonates with any of you in any way, please reach out. Help me, Vicki. Help me. If that's calling you, or you feel that somebody needs to hear this, share it. By all means. And I don't care if they contact me or not. If it's something you think they might want to listen to, feel free to share it. Share the Help Me Vicki link. Maybe they just need to put one sentence down. Maybe they just need to get it out of their head, right? To someone. And if they don't have anyone, if you don't have anyone, I can be that space for you. All right? So try and be purposeful with energy and joy. And when they walk through that door, whoever that is for you, generate that energy and show up and shine and grow.